Good morning, everyone. My name is Riyad. I'll be filling in to my chief analyst, Mr. Slobodan. Today is the 30th of July, and first of all, let's take a look at the daily economical calendar. And today, around 8:30 GMT, which is 11:30 Cyprus time, we have some figures uh, on the sterling or on the Great Britain uh, figures. First of all, we have the net lending for individuals. The previous numbers were 1.3 billion and expected to drop to 800 billion. If we see numbers dropping more lower than 800 billion, so probably we're going to expect a little drop in the sterling. Also, we have the mortgage approvals. Previous numbers are 51,000 and the expected is 49,000. We don't expect any major move on this data. And today also we have on the Eurozone, we have the business climate and the economic sentiment for the Eurozone. Business climate, previous numbers are in minus 0.9 and expected to also be around 1 minus 1. Economic sentiment, previous numbers were 89.9, expected to drop to 88.9. If you also see a drop below the 88.9 expected numbers, we're probably going to see a little move on the euro, probably going to be for the downside. Today also we have the Italian bond auction for the 10 years. The bid to cover ratio is expected to be 1.7 and the expected interest rate is 5.8. Previous interest rate was a little bit above 6%, so if today's coverage was around or higher than 6%, then it could be bad for the Italian economy, and probably we're going to see also a drop in the euro. That's about it for the economical calendar. Also, there were some news about the Asian markets. We've seen a rise in the Asian shares. Probably this rise was backed by the ECB previous comments of that they will do whatsoever to preserve the euro. So they still have good sentiment about that. Also, we've seen some news about the Spanish debt. We've seen that it was rising more than 600%. Currently, the debt is expected to be around 337 billion, and that's according to the ECB borrowing figures. Also, we've seen that in the past few days or during last week, we've seen a good rise in the currencies, and it was supported by the famous comment by the ECB President Mario Draghi, while now we're expecting to see if there's any actions in play, because we don't think that comments is going to support the euro for long, and if nothing is going to happen soon within the next week or any news that could back up his words, probably we're going to see a drop back. Good thing to mention is that the coming month, August, usually it's the holiday season in the European region, so probably we're gonna wait for September to see what's gonna happen with the meetings with the officials in the ECB and the European zone, and probably September is gonna have the biggest effect in the market while they decide what they're gonna do about the Greek situation and the Spanish and Italian situation. Let's take a look at the technical analysis and at the chart and see what's happening in the market. First of all, we've seen after the rise that was made during last week, it lasted almost to 123.89, which is ahead of our strong resistance and this barrier you can see on the chart, which is the 124.10 until 124.35 zone, which is the previous lows where it was hit during the 8th of June, the 12th of June, and also during the 28th and 29th of June. Currently, market is still trading around 122.84, a few pips ahead of the first support level, as you can see it on 122.70, which was the rise of the 27th of July. After that, we have the second support at 122.40, which is also the rise of the same day, but a few hours earlier. And finally, a break of those 2 points would open the path towards 121.65, which was the previous high and the highs that were broken while during the speech of the ECB president. Currently, if we go to the daily chart, you can see a downtrend which is expected to be broken when after it reaches the resistance level which we previously talked about. Currently, there could be a little bit of correction due to the overbought conditions on the near term or the 1 hour chart. We've already seen a correction of almost 100 pips, waiting for the euro to go up again if the correction was finished, and the first point to monitor is the 123.25 area ahead of the 123.50 area, and after that it will open the path for another test of the important resistance level. Sterling cable, as you can see, it's almost trading similar to the euro. However, the correction wasn't as big as the euro one. First support is currently being tested. Actually, it's being broken at the 157.95 area, where it might open the path toward 156.67, which is the previous low that was reached during last Friday. A break of that point would open the path towards the 155.50 zone, which is the initial resistance level where it broke during the ECB meeting. Higher, after the sterling went higher, as you can see, it has reached the 157.67 area, which is almost to the previous high, which was triggered on the 20th of June. Now, this zone is the most important zone for the time being. We're waiting a break of this area to open more rise, probably toward the 60.50 area. As you can see, the places where, or the points where it was broken on the 15th of March. Currently, as you can see, for the past 2 months, it's been going for a trading range between the 154 and the 157.70 zone. The last rise, it reaches the resistance level we were waiting for, and currently we're waiting for any reversal of the uptrend, or probably a potential break of the highs of the previous period. On the short term, if we look at the of the resistance levels, we do not see much resistance, probably a minor one around 157.55 or 50 area, and it could give a potential test for the 157.75 zone. A break there, as we said earlier, it could trigger a very high rally that could probably reach the 160.70 area, and afterwards it could probably give a higher rally. Currently still in sideways trend and waiting for a break either below 56.60 or 57.70. In regards to the dollar Swiss, we can see that it already broke the support level of the 97.30 zone, and it has dropped almost toward the 96.75 zone. However, it has stopped at 96.94 area, and then we've seen a pullback or a correction higher towards the points where it actually started the final drop around 98.05 zone. In regards to the resistance, so far we've seen that it had already broke the zone of 97.75, currently trading around this point and has already reached the 97.86 area, which is almost closer to the or similar to the points where it had dropped on the 27th during the afternoon period. Currently, a break above 98 would open a rally towards 98.67, which is the previous lows that were breaking on the 26th of July during the speech, and a break of that area would open a rise toward 99.10 and then again to 99.70, which would open the path to the initial target for the medium term area, which is the highest point on the 28th of November 2010, the area of 100.70. On the downside, any drop below the 20 hours moving average, which is around 97.55, would open further downside risk toward the previous low around the 96.94 area, and then back to the support which we were talking about, which is the highest price of 28th of June that was broken on the 7th, or sorry, on the 5th of July. So basically we're still waiting for a break of those 2 points, the ones that you see around 96.70 and 98.10. Finally, for the dollar yen, it has been trading still on the downside. The downtrend is clear. We've seen a small corrective action towards the previous lows that was broken a few days later, which is the 78.70 or 75 area, and then we've seen a sharp drop lower. Any break below 78 zone, which is this area, would open the path towards 77.65, which was the previous low of the 1st of June. And after this point, a break there would open a further downside risk toward the 75.5 area, which is the lowest areas where the yen dropped, and it was the area where the Central Bank of Japan was intervening and trying to sell the yen and lifting up higher. As you can see, the 3 times that it started around the 75 or below the 76 zone. So a break here would open a potential intervention on the yen from the Bank of Japan. Now, any rise above the 78.70 would open the path towards the 79.10-15 zone, which is this area. You can see that the price was trading higher than this point, and it was broken on the 16th of July. So a break here would open a positive tone towards the yen for a potential rise toward a 80.60 zone, which is the previous high that was reached since the beginning of March. Finally, if we take a look at gold, we can see that currently gold is trading on 1,619 and a half almost dollars per ounce, which is lower than the resistance area on the medium term, which is the 1,640 or 35 zone. Also, it's still been trading above the 1,530 zone. We can see that the gold has been trading for a sideway since almost the mid of March until now. Any rise higher would open the path toward the said resistance around 1,632 and 1,639. A corrective action could open the way towards the 1610, and a break there would open further downside toward 1599 area, which is the previous high that has been traded for the past couple of weeks. A break there would open again a downside fall toward the medium to long-term support at 1530. This is the end of the webinar. We would like to thank you for participating, and if you have any questions and comments, you can always send us an email to the dealing desk or contact us by phone. Thank you for participating. Have a nice day. Goodbye.